One. Hey, welcome everybody to Rolling on Three, the first podcast for all three-wheel owners, whether you're riding on Ryker, Spider, Slingshot. This is the show for you. Today, I'd like to welcome Mizz Jackson to the show from her YouTube channel, All Things Mizz Jackson. Mizz Jackson, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Perfect. Great. I start off the show with the same question. What are you rolling on?
I'm rolling on a Can Am Ryker 600.
What year is that?
This is the very first Can Am that came out in 2019. I bought it 2 months after it hit the showroom floor.
Nice. So tell me, Mizz Jackson, where are you from and what do you do?
Well, originally I hail from Kingston, Jamaica, but I spent most of my youth in New York City, representing the great borough of Queens.
All right. Shout out to Queens.
718 all day. I relocated to South Florida about 4 years ago. I semi-retired from the cold weather, and I decided I wanted to do the whole, bike life, because it's a big thing in my culture where I'm from. My dad rode a motorcycle. If I'm not mistaken, my first memory of anything on wheels has to be on a Ninja Kawasaki with my dad when I was 7 years old, holding on to their life.
Wow. That's awesome. So you got a whole history of bike life growing up, huh?
Yeah, it's in my blood.
That's what's up. So where did you get the Ryker from?
So I purchased the Ryker. The interesting thing is I ended up buying the Ryker by accident. My intention, so I'm one of those kind of impulsive buyers when it comes to certain things. So I had seen the Batman movie and I had loved how Batman's ride looked. So I did some research and I found out that there was a company that was selling something that looks similar to it on 3 wheels. I won't say that. Well, I guess I can call the name. Can I call the name of the item?
Sure.
Polaris Slingshot. So I thought Slingshot was cool. Okay. And so I jumped in my car one day and I was like, I'm going down to the dealer and I'm going to buy a Slingshot. So I ride to the dealer and I get there and I look at this thing and I'm like, oh, I'm here to see the Slingshot. And the guy was like, okay, sure. I look at it and I'm like, this thing is huge. Like, listen, I already have a big car and this thing is missing the roof. And that's a negative. So as I'm walking out, very disappointed, I see this 3-wheeler. You know how you're walking by the pound and you see a little puppy in the corner and nobody's paying attention to it. So I'm looking and I go, what's this? And he goes, oh, that's a great question, ma'am. It's a great question, ma'am. This is a Can Am Ryker 600 Ace. It's brand new. It just came out in March. And I was like, really? And I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, it kind of looks like a Scorpion. He's like, yes, it kind of does. But he was like, do you know Sea-Doo or Can Am? And I go, I do not. He goes, well, these are the guys who made the jet skis, and basically they decided to make the Ryker. And so if you look at it, it kind of looks like a jet ski, but it's on wheels. I was like, that's pretty cool. So I was like, I bet it costs an arm and a leg, just like the Polaris, right? He goes, actually, ma'am, it's less than 10 grand. I'm like, what you talking about, Willis? I was like, you have it in stock? He goes, let me check. Because they have them on the showroom floor.
Right.
So he goes to his manager and he asks his manager, and his manager was like, oh, yeah, we have it in stock, but we have it only in black. So the one they had on the showroom floor was the red one, the one that I have. So I was like, no, so this was like on a Wednesday. So I said, I don't want that color. I'd like to get the red one. He goes, well, the outside is interchangeable. So you could buy. I was like, no, I want the red and black. I said, I'll tell you what, I'm going to come back Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and you have it. And the rest is history. Saturday morning, 10 a.m., I went and I got my Ryker. And that thing has been photographed more than me. It's been in a video shoot. I've had directors approach me when I'm on South Beach. I have people coming up to me. Oh my God, can I sit on this? You know, where did you rent it? I'm like, where did I rent it? Sweetheart, I own this.
It is a head turner though. When it first came out, it was a head turner. I have to say that and when people saw me, because I had to in New York, you had to get on a waiting list to get them because they were just not. They were just people were back ordered. Everybody wanted. Once they saw the commercial, it was like insane. So the craziest thing is someone ever said to me, said, "Did you build that?" I was like, "No, I bought it just like this." But nah, that's cool though. That that type of impulse buy. You went in there. I guess you told them, "This is what I want, and I'm coming back to get it," and that's it.
Yep, that's pretty much it. Yep. Went to get one thing, went out with something else. But for me, it was one of the best impulse purchases that I ever made. Because
Cool.
I've had buyer's remorse with other things. I have
Right.
yet to have, I mean, I've had issues with the Ryker in the beginning because it was a new model, you're
Right.
glitches.
Mhm.
However, the dealership that handles my maintenance,
Mhm.
amazing.
Great.
Nobody else touches my Ryker, just them, and they're not even close to where I live. They're a good, like, if put it into context. If I were to be in Queens, let's just say they're all the way in like Riverhead.
Wow.
And I ride that
Wow.
car because they are that good. I think
Well.
they're like #1 rated repairs for Rikers.
Oh
They are
wow.
certified by Can Am. As a matter of fact, they are very well-known motorsports dealership.
Mhm.
They're called Riva,
Okay.
one of the largest in all of South Florida, and they are excellent. The staff there is amazing. I'm talking all of my gear, everything from my Ryker is from those guys. I mean, those guys, they hook me up.
Nah, that's what's up. I mean, if you meet somebody, if you buy from a place and you got great customer service and they treat you good, of course, you might as well just keep going back. If they're taking care of you, 100%, it's good to have stories. But nobody touches my Riker except me. So once I bought it and the recalls were done and nobody putting their hands on that bad boy but me. That's it. Everything is gonna be done by me, fixed by me. But there's
I'm not at that level yet.
hey, you'll get there. Trust me, you'll get there. It's just a little bit of confidence and patience, and you'll get there. I'm no mechanic, but I'm not scared either. So I figure if I can take it apart, I could put it back together if it doesn't work. So
I can take the cell phone case off my phone and put it back on, but that's the extent
that's
of mechanical.
we all started from zero, right? At some point. So tell me, are you using it as recreational? Is it a commute? I mean, you said you're semi-retired, so is this what's your riding habits? What you doing?
Okay, so my Ryker now has almost 10,000 miles. And
Mm.
that's not a lot compared to what I wanted it to have. So when it was going through the recalls and a couple of stuff, and I had to wait for the dealer to get the parts that it needed, it was out of commission for about 6 months, and I was the most miserable I was in my entire
Mm.
life. I had to actually drive my car. Oh my God. My riding habits are, so I live in South Florida, specifically Miami, and I rode every weekend to Orlando. That's a
Mm.
3.5 hour ride for me.
Wow. Wow.
I don't know how long it's supposed to be, but I know how long it takes me when I ride.
Hey, we just here and just say that you took the speed limit and used
I took the speed limit.
all road safety and follow all the rules of the road. That's
Yeah,
exactly what we
I did.
promote, right?
I did.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
But yeah, my riding habits. So basically, I have weather gear. So
Mhm.
I'm always geared up. I have a ridiculous amount of helmets. I really, really get into my helmets, and my comfort is my headphones. So I have an obsession with headphones, not just helmet headphones, but headphones in general. You might be like, what? But you're not wearing one right now. It's because I couldn't decide which one I wanted to wear on the camera.
I have a feeling that Mizz Jackson is a shopaholic. Is she a shopaholic?
I'm not a shopaholic.
You like accessories. Let me see. Let me get it right. You
Accessories,
accessorize.
but I like a good deal.
Okay.
I love a good deal and I love a good bargain. And I will spend the money if it's worth it. But a lot of times I find I can get what I need and meet myself halfway in the middle without breaking the bank. So I'm all about that. So it's about comfort and convenience, but you want to be careful with your spending. You don't want to go too crazy.
That's a fact. No, absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm assuming that most of the time, South Florida, the weather is good. So
6 months out of the
yeah,
year.
you're getting some nice rides out there. Are you riding with another group or you just doing the solo thing? Like, what's up?
I'm a lone ranger. Sadly.
Okay.
On occasion, I'll be riding because obviously, there's a lot of bikers here in Florida.
Yeah, it's a bike community. Yeah.
Yes. So I will be running. I run into Ryker, riders all the time. Like I see them on the Harley groups and so forth. And there's a huge place here in South Florida called a biker place called Cafe 27.
Mm-hmm.
I have yet to go there, but I have been told by many riders whom I've met like in traffic saying, oh, you have to check it out. It's a great place for riders. There's even people that, video when they go there. I've yet to go. Every time I say I'm going to go, I keep forgetting to go. But I indulge in the open road 99.9% of the time by myself.
Okay.
I hang out on South Beach. I hang out in Wynwood. That's another popular local area. All the way, like I said, I go all the way up to Orlando, and I just have fun. And I feel so free. I feel so exhilarated when I am on Big Red. That's what I call it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So when you're out and you're chilling with Big Red, right? If I'm down in that part of Florida, where am I gonna go to get the good food, to chill out? Like, what's the spot down there?
So the spot down here is, oh my gosh, me personally,
yeah,
I don't do, like, I go to South Beach if I want to show off the bike. That's where you go to show off and cruise with your stuff. Now you see a lot of people on the slingshot, whatever, right? Because I got the lights, the customized lights, so heads turn. But I'm talking about local grub and just having a good time. Wynwood is a really good place to hang out. Bayside is a really good place to hang out. And of course, you go to Los Olas and Fort Lauderdale. Downtown Fort Lauderdale is popping. I was just there this weekend with a friend of mine who just moved here from Brooklyn. And he was like, oh my God, this is how you guys turn up? I'm like, I guess. Like, I don't really know it that much because it's just me and Big Red, I don't need to get off it. But yeah, you'll see the bikes pull up.
That's cool. No, I like to throw that out when, people say, if they're traveling and it's like, oh, let me go down to Florida on my bike or whatever. So it's good to have this perspective of bike owners and,
and
where they go.
Cafe 27.
Right.
If you are a biker, you are going to go to Cafe 27.
Yeah, I've spoken to quite a few people who go there and had a few events there, and I see them on social media. Yeah, it's huge. They get a lot of bikes there.
Yes. Yes.
Indeed. Now, when you was growing up in Jamaica and you have all these memories, did you ride out there 2 wheels? I didn't get to ask you.
So my mom was very much afraid, moms, of me being as a matter of fact, it took me a good couple of months to tell them that I actually bought the Ryker.
Oh man.
Yes, my parents. So my dad, he was excited when I told him that I purchased the Ryker because, like I said, he's big into motorcycles and he had a Ninja Kawasaki.
Right.
He has the bruises to prove how much he likes it. But growing up in Jamaica, it's a huge bike culture there, and I had friends who had motorbikes when I was younger, but I was always a passenger. But that thrill that I got on the back, holding on, oh my goodness. It's like, oh my God, I can't wait to get my own. So I didn't have it. I didn't have one when I was growing up because it was forbidden.
Oh.
It was forbidden. So
Okay.
as I got older and I got more comfortable in my shell, and then when I moved to South Florida, I decided I am most definitely positively going through an early midlife crisis. I am getting this bike. I am doing it.
An early midlife crisis. That kind of explain. Well, I don't know if mine was early. I mean, I'm already midlife, so I guess it was just a crisis for me.
It was on my bucket list, and I mean, if you look at my channel, All Things Mizz Jackson, it's not just about my Ryker. It is about all things that are me. So it's not just my bike. It's, the places I go. I love to travel. At one point, I was basically in a new city or a new country every other weekend for the last 4 years.
Wow.
Pandemic is what stopped me. So there were things that were on my bucket list, and I was like, I'm going to do this. This was something that there was an itch that I needed to scratch.
Okay. So I assume that's the inspiration to the YouTube channel, All Things Mizz Jackson, Mizz. I actually have it up. I was looking through it today. Yes. So that's where that came about. Because I saw it on one of the videos. You were showing someone the bike or showing them how to ride the bike. Is that what it was?
Yes. So last week, a friend of mine, I was actually in New York last week, and a friend of mine who is a nurse, she was passing through South Florida on her way back to Connecticut. And I picked her up from the airport. I flew into Miami. She flew into Fort Lauderdale. I went to pick her up, and I showed her around town. Have a good day, a good night. And I said, "You want to see my bike?" She was like, "Hell yeah, I want to see your bike. Of course I want to see your bike." So I was like, "Do you want to ride it?" She was like, "You trust me to ride it?" I'm like, "Trust me. Anybody can ride this thing. You'll be fine." And so I was showing her Nurse Stacy. Shout out to Nurse Stacy.
All right, shout out.
She got on the bike, and all of that footage you see is raw. There was no editing. That's what you saw. That was her from start to finish.
Well, you know what? That's actually good in that you did that, because I don't know if you know, but Can Am has a thing where they're running where they want other women to show other women how to ride and post it up on Instagram. So they have like a big campaign, Can Am. So you should look into that, because you might be able to get your video hosted on their site for doing that.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And I'm all about the women riders and promoting women riders. I think that's so cool that we get this whole Can Am family mixed and big and all types of ages and sexes and generations, because it's such a new community since it only came out in 2019. So this is a good thing when I see these things. And that's actually how I came across you. I was just going through my channel on my YouTube and I saw the video. I said, "Oh, that's cool." I said, "Let me reach out to her, see if she wants to talk about that." But that's awesome. That's awesome.
Because I've only been actively on YouTube again, in about 2 weeks.
Okay.
So I've been putting it off because my friends were always telling me, "You have a very interesting life. You really should put up what you do." And I'm like, "You guys might find me interesting, but I doubt the general public would." And they were like,
"Listen, I have a whole concept on that, because it was the same thing like me. I didn't even have social media before this. If you would think it was nothing.
I don't have social media right now except YouTube."
Exactly. And then I said, "You know what? I was watching videos of Rikers. I said, let me go out there and take my phone and make a video." It was crappy. And people started watching, and I was like, "Why are people watching me?" And then I just realized, you know what? It doesn't matter. If someone's looking for something and they see it, they're just gonna watch it. It don't matter how interesting you feel you are, or how like nobody's gonna. It's true, but it's what other people want to see, and you can't ever figure out what other people want.
That is true, because so I had YouTube 12 years ago. And at the time, I had just put up videos of events that I used to attend in New York. So if you look at my channel, originally it was just really raw footage of me in a crowd at Labor Day parade, or some or some shows. And then I was like, I ain't got time for this. So I never touched YouTube again. And so, coming into the last 10 years or so, the last 8 years or so, I would say, I started doing a lot of traveling. And briefly I was on Facebook, but I would do Facebook Live.
Okay.
And my friends would see. So I would literally go to all these different countries. Like I'd go to Europe and I would be in each country for a day. And I would literally show people around, hey, this is how you get around for the day. Mm-hmm. And then my friends were like, you got to do this on big scale on YouTube. And I was like, listen, you guys are fascinated because your lives are boring. The general public doesn't care about what Mizz Jackson does. And they were like, trust me, no. And I let it go. And then I guess the pandemic kind of kicked in.
Right.
And I started buying a lot of new products and basically videoing it and sending it to my friends. And then they brought up the whole thing again. And then the next thing you know, so this really started with me just showing my products that I bought. Like I'm obsessed with certain cooking products and my traveling. And then I put on my bike.
Let me tell you something. You got the energy for it. So you know what? It's a slow and steady process. And, mine was slow and I was like, nobody's going to watch. And then, you turn around, you got 10 subscribers, 20, 30, 50, 100. And you're like, what is going on? But you know what? Keep it up. If you like it, it's not a job. It's fun. It's fun
for me. Like, honestly, I enjoy putting up like again, I started off with just the traveling stuff and the food stuff. And the pandemic just kind of said, oh, you know what? Let me try and do a couple of things that people are not able to do anymore. And being that I live in Florida where COVID is a little weird here and a lot of things are open, to say the least, I had that opportunity to video a lot of stuff and just show people, hey, this is what's happening here. And then I put up the Ryker stuff, not even thinking in the slightest that anybody would care about my Ryker. And it turns out that the most views that I have on my channel are about my Ryker, and the least views that I have are about my cooking and my traveling. So you never can predict what people are going to be into.
Not at all.
It's amazing.
Not at all. Not at all. But you definitely got to keep up the good work. I think the Ryker videos are pretty interesting and they're fun.
Oh, I have some new stuff coming up because
that's what's up.
I've been getting feedback from some of my friends, and I've been asking them, what would you like to see me put on? How would you like to see the Ryker next? In what capacity? And the feedback that I've gotten so far, because I love constructive criticism, I'm okay with it. I've got like thick skin. I don't mind. And if it's going to help me to make my channel better and to make it more enjoyable, I'm all good for that. And one of the things that people say is, they gave me the compliment of when I did the showcase, they liked hearing about the Ryker and the braking and all the accessories, because a lot of people thought that the bike came with those things.
Right.
I was showing them, I was like, no, I paid for this. This is a very expensive hobby.
It is expensive. And trust me, I don't know how far you in on mods, but how much money you think you spent on the bike so far? I know for a fact within my first week of buying it, I spent $2,500. Okay.
Just on gear and accessories. So within the first year, I spent around $6,000.
Yes, I tell people all the time that it will be an addicting habit of this buying things for this bike because it's so new. And there's so many products coming out weekly, daily, people inventing things and adding things. And I show people all the time, you'll never see two Can Am Rykers alike unless they're sitting in the showroom together. True. So I was letting people know it is an addicting habit. And trust me, I know I've spent so much money, but thank God, a lot of this stuff is coming for free sometimes, but I'll tell you right now, it is a rough habit. What?
I paid for mine.
I paid for a lot of my stuff. Don't get me wrong.
It's worth it. Listen,
yes.
I had, luckily for me, all of the maintenance issues that I had happened within the first 2 years of my being under warranty.
Right.
So, like I said, Riva Motorsports in Pompano Beach, mwah, mwah, mwah. You guys are amazing. That's not what I the bike.
You gotta, you keep plugging them. You got to reach out to them for a sponsorship. Remember that, all right? Because you need to ride over there and say, look, I'm gonna do a YouTube video in your place. I need some sponsorships there. So
you know what? They're really good people, and that's the reason why I give them that shout out, because that's not where I bought my Ryker. The place where I bought my Ryker, I will not call the name because they had the worst customer service ever.
Okay.
And once I left the showroom with them, I never went back. Everybody who's seen the bike and have asked where I purchased it, I have steered them away from there and have put them towards Riva, because Riva is such a higher quality caliber. You know what I mean? You feel like, yes.
Absolutely right. When you're happy with a person and you're happy with a business, you stick to it for life. That's just certain things people don't change, right? They're hairstylists, they're mechanics, and they're accountants. So those are people you probably keep for the rest of your life. But listen, let me ask you. So if someone asked you right now, well, I'm going to ask you, but describe your Can Am experience in one word or one sentence. How would you describe it?
In one word.
Or one sentence, whatever's easier. I give people an option.
Exhilarating.
Exhilarating. All right. That's what's up. Listen, hey, you know what? That was great. The whole show was great. You've been a fun guest. I would talk to you for hours. But then YouTube would say the algorithms get crazy and people start clicking off the show, and then I start losing people. It's just weird. I can't figure out how long or how short I have to make a video. So I try to keep them in a cap of like 30 minutes. But Mizz Jackson, tell everybody your YouTube channel, your social media, whatever you got going on. If they want to ride with you, meet up and go chill down in Florida, let them know.
Okay, so my YouTube page is All Things Mizz Jackson. That's MIZZ JACKSON. And it's basically, you follow me around, and there's stuff that I do with my Ryker. There's new products that I buy. There's cities and countries that I visit. It's All Things Mizz Jackson. It's what my life is basically. And that's the only handle that I have, because I don't have Twitter. I don't have.
Okay. Hey, listen, they can find you on YouTube. There's ways to contact you. So you guys check out All Things Mizz Jackson. I will put her YouTube link down below. You guys all know who I am, but if you don't, I'm Keith Hammer. This is Rolling on 3, the first podcast for all three-wheelers. If you want to contact me to be on the show, you can email me at rollingon3wheels@gmail. That's the number 3. You can find me on Instagram as the Shadow Black Ryker. You can find me on Twitter, TikTok. Oh my goodness. All streaming platforms for Spotify, iTunes. Matter of fact, if you just type in #RollingOn3, you will find me anyway if you need to contact me. Thank you very much. Thank you for being on the show. Thank you for taking your time out. It was a blast.
Pleasure is all mine. I'm actually going to be in New York in 2 days.
Okay.